Big game. I'll get 4 sacks. Jared. Oh, man. Where's that? Go ahead, show it. Dirty. Oh, no.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages.
And they said balance will be a focus.
I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Defensive starters, here they are for Atlanta. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. And an alley to run. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 93 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter whether they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They keep it with Yeldon on 1st down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
He'll look to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met quickly in the back chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Leopard.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0.
Good job, guys.
That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
Had the
interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the shotgun, Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brandon Graham in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback, because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And taken right on the 30. Whoosh! 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Eagles. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll run it here. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Over.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he had been able to haul that one in.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Set. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. They go play action here on 1st down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The numbers for Jones last week, 12 catches, 124 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the 1st quarter of action. It's a close game here early on. We're back to Atlanta in just a moment. This is the NFL, and you're watching EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Again, Ryan. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Now it's Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now a handoff to Yeldon. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go now.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And an alley to run. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to there. Pick up the first down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st down, they go with Dixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Set. Green 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
All right.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 15 and a first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They'll set up a throw. That's complete right around the 8.
Awesome.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Eagles on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And down he'll go at the 25. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. On 2nd down, Ryan. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3rd and 2, now Ryan. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run they're doing, and it's actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
You going? Okay.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Well, I hope so.
Let's go. Green 30.
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
You cold? What's wrong? I'm on air.
So how would you describe
Well,
that,
we don't want
partner?
to hurt ourselves.
Right there, getting that first down, blue collar type football.
Yeah, only needed 3.
All right, well, I'll do you first.
Now, I think it's pretty cool myself. Everything doesn't have to be high glamour in this
Well,
game.
you just walk me through it and tell me what to do. She said you don't listen. I am. What's that? Why? well, that's because I thought, well, Pap. It'll be fine. Yeah, pants, yeah. Yeah. We'll just try it on now, so you know. All this lusciousness. Who's mowing?
So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. Alex Smith, a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott has run for a touchdown there. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now Ryan on second down. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken it around the 40. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here we go. Green.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Escaping the pressure. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Ryan now off the bootleg. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No, we're used to a bit more scoring. This feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll run it here. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. The tackle made there by Takk McKinley.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
All right, here we go.
Now back to throw. And an alley to run. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. And they'll go on the ground. And he lost the football. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. To throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Set! Blue 90!
Now flags come in here. Look like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Fielded at the 33. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. A 3rd quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Baker Mayfield with 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter,
You're in peril.
you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. The Falcons on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Watch the screen.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered covered. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. Here's Matt Bosher now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go. Green.
He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down.
Bitches.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
They're doing everything they can. They're doing everything they can to cheat us.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Bosher now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at the 23. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Now a handoff looking right. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. You and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Now let's go.
They'll try the counter with Dixon. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
This guy's an idiot.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. Got an open man. It's Bradley.
Good job, Bradley.
And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Green 30.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Stevenson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw here.
Oh, God.
Look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game with the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The left side completion to Jones. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Ryan now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
See if we can get it.
The Falcons on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball.
Oh, yes, sir.
You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Good job, Brown.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Go, 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 go.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory.
Detroit!
And on the ground they go with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll drop the throw. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on
ETA.
3rd. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Here we go now.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
No. See that one right there?
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
It's what they do.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches.
Because we can't get out and do this anymore physically.
Here we go. 3-19.
And they'll run it here.
Yes.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with a minute 56 to go.
Gaming store, 70-year-old men come in and buy video games all the time. No. Well, you know they go play video games. It is.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
And they'll go on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
Where does who go play? At their house, I guess.
All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense.
No. Babe, you see it every day.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
And the sad part about it is they're putting real money in it to do it.
All right, here we go.
I ain't putting no real money in to do this.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, people wear Spanx when they're wearing... No, Spanx, so, like, if they're wearing, like... No. Why do they wear Spanx? No, they don't. That's not it. Like, if they're wearing, like a short skirt or something.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
So, no, when they sit down, people don't see their worldly goods.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Eagles defense. They work their way back onto the field. And they have been so strong all game long. They just need to show up here one final time, Charles.
And this isn't a spot where they're going to run out onto the field and look at each other and say, okay, can we hold on? They've been strong all game, as you talked about.
Yeah, you got some confidence.
Confidence. They're thinking, let's just go out there and shut them down 1, 2, 3 and get out of here. That's how they feel right now.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. He's back to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it second down. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. The Falcons on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And now down to 24 seconds after the spike. Back to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And now he stops it with a spike at 8 seconds. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Oh, no. She and I, we already talked about it. No. Well, we didn't need to go any further because I believed exactly what she believed. If people would just conform, I mean, yeah, well, no, that's not true. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh.
Here we go.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
You loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Eagles, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Atlanta,
Hey guys,
it's a tough one
good
to
job.
swallow as
I got family stuff to do today. So, therefore, I'm going to go shower so we can go and do whatever it is that we're going to do today. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but hey. That's a big win for us, guys. That's a big win for us. That's a big win for us. Welcome back, defense. You know what? We're going up. We are going to. Release this guy. that. We got to carry 2 kickers, man, because we don't trust the one we have. All right. Oh no, I didn't see that. Let's see. Do we want to? All right. So, how old was he? Like 90 something? I know you're not talking. That's good. Listen. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Right. Why do I keep getting this? Did you sign me up for some kind of thing for Punta Cana? Like I get emails almost every day for Punta. I'm just kidding. That's what happened. Punta Cana, Punta Cana, Punta Cana. All right, hold on. We do want to bring this guy